welcome back to another video. And everyone's been asking myself this early season, as a WF1, what are the best drivers to use? What's the best strategy to win all of your duels? And we're going to bring you that setup and strategy right now. There's two strategies to use. They involve the same car setup, but a different driver strategy. It is the return of the old best and worst driver, however, with a little bit of a difference. So let's move into the setup. Now I am in Series 6 currently. So you can see I am in Series 6 and currently I am rocking a common Oscar Piastri and a common Nick de Vries, both at level 1. So this is a Series 1 driver and a Series 2. And this is the car setup I'm using. Now this car setup is simply my best setup. For you at home, what you want to do is just pick the part which gives you the overall highest points. So on this one, you can see it's negative. On this one, negative. On here, negative. So that is the best part that we've got. On this one then, we've got, see, that's got a basically -6 difference. And that one there, completely negative. So we're basically picking the highest point scoring part in total from each section. But then it comes down to our drivers. So I'm going to show you this strategy first, and then I'm going to show you the next strategy with a different driver setup too. So let's get into a race in Series 6, remember. These are two Series 1 and 2 drivers, both level 1, but we're going in Series 6. So here is our first matchup with the start at the back, 2 level 1s strategy. And it definitely lowers the team score well and gives you lower matchups as well. So where do we start? So slightly on the back foot, but that's absolutely fine. So P22, P23, remember we've got a fast car to go with this strategy. We're going to use hards for both drivers. We're going to use dead fast for them as well, based on the fact tyres and speed are everyone's favourite thing. And we get the power unit boost increase in there as well. So boosts are the massive factor in this game at the minute, hence we are using them. And it should be a bot. So probably a good 70% of the time we're getting bots using this strategy. Only a couple of times that we do actually encounter real players. And if it is real players, then they've got a slower setup than ours. But Piastri and de Vries are off. And we're up to P18, P19 at the minute. Piastri moving ahead of de Vries. And they both undercut. It's just a hectic game at the moment. Look how grouped up we are. And then coming down into this corner, Piastri looking pretty quick as it is. We're going to leave now on medium boost. So we should be able to get past these just on a medium boost. And like I said before, the lower team score gives you lower rated rivals. All we're doing is reducing the driver power or performance. The car is still there. And at the minute, we're all good. Look at that, de Vries up the inside. Boosts are, you've got to be using boosts on this game. Just got to. But de Vries settled down pretty well in this. We haven't made the biggest start that we'd have wanted in the world so far. But we're going to be just grinding back those power units, and we're making some good moves. We've got de Vries now P13, Piastri 19. Thing to remember, both level 1, they are a bit harder to overtake, but if you put them with the right strategy and right boosts, then you can overtake very well. And with pit stops as well, early on, it's pretty easy to make some good positions. And there is P8 for de Vries. Piastri gets Ocon just into P12. And we're not worrying too much about the power unit. We're going to give de Vries a chance down the straight to make a few positions. And Piastri we're going to conserve a little bit. And there is de Vries now up to P6. And we are well clear of the rival. Look, still out the back. They're following the AI strategy. And we could even probably have done mediums for this, but hards is fine. And look at that, now into P5. Piastri is saving some good tyres. And we're going to come back on this 7-lap stint for some mediums. Let's boost De Vries though, let's get him ahead. And let's boost Piastri up into P10. And you got to remember, in Duels, it's all about just beating your rival. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to worry about anything else. It's just beating your rival. Doesn't matter how many points as De Vries comes through. And we'll be able to come back quite comfortably for them medium tyres. Piastri, though, is absolutely flying. And will come in as well. So both of these in for some medium tyres. They're probably going to double stack slightly. Well, it doesn't look like it will be the case, actually. I think we've done that pretty well. And we're out. So we started at the back of the grid with our two, remember, Series 1 and 2 Level 1 drivers. And we are currently out P3, P8. And the rival is well back 21st and 24. So, easy work of Duels. Now, I will say, when you get real players, it is going to be a lot tougher. But, predominantly, you're facing bots quite a lot. So, Piastri is going to save now. We're going to move both to medium. We've gained a bit of that power unit back. We're still going to earn a bit more on the medium. And we've only got hard tyres to run down for De Vries. So we should be able to do that pretty easy. With Piastri closing in on Lewis Hamilton. So let's lose De Vries. And let's boost Piastri. De Vries already into P2. Going after the Ferrari now. And Piastri about to get P4. He's trying. As De Vries tries and gets P1. Piastri is now P4. After the hard tyres in front of him. Be good if we can close this gap as much as we can and then just conserve to the end. But two level 1 drivers, that does have us up to P1 and P3 at the minute. It's probably going to stay that way as well. Unless we can chase down this Ferrari for a P2. But that's what you got to remember. We're racing Series 6 here. Series 6. It's not Series 1, 2 or 3. This is our highest series. And we are good looking at the Ferrari. And we can use that extra little bit of power unit that we did have until we went backwards. And now we can get into P2. So it is going to be a very decent strategy indeed to secure us a 1-2 finish. De Vries comes first. Oscar Piastri comes home in P2 for us as well. And the rival is absolutely nowhere. They sit back in 16th and 21st. Our second strategy comes from something similar. We're still using a level 1 common in our setup, but we're using our highest, basically leveled up driver. So you might have seen the offers that have gone on recently, and I'll show you them offers quickly now. All these type of offers, well, the common ones are a steal. So I've gone and upgraded level 7 Hulkenberg. And we're going to do the same strategy. We're going to use level 7 and level 1 to give us a better matchup. We're going to go Series 6 again. So let's get at it in the same series. So let's go in Canada. See where we do qualify. Where do we sit? And it's going to be a similar setup to the rival. So it's showing you that people are using this already, but we're P24 and P9. So it's going to come down to using some decent boosts yet again. And I'm going to use, if you've already seen me early on so far, and we're going to use something like we'll use a Kawhi, because Kawhi not. So, this is the number 7 level common, and you can see how spread out the grid gets. So against a bot, this is even better, as I nearly go and try and do the old pit start boost. And at the minute, it looks like it is potentially a bot. So we're going to be pushing hard. Piastri's not, because he's only just setting off. So we're going to boost hard for about half a lap, and we're going to get some early positions done. Hulkenberg into P4. Piastri trying to get past Zhou Guan Yu and does. And we're going to cut down there and bide our time. Good move up the inside. And remember, because of this lower team score, we've still got the same car power cornering or speed cornering and reliability. So we should be able to push pretty quickly through this field. That is the power of using lower drivers. We should outmatch our opponent with Piastri now trying to make a move past P16. We've got Hulkenberg having a look at Verstappen. And this game is all about boosts at the same time. I'd like to show you without boost, but there's just no point. It's very slow. You want to be using these boosts. Rival's using all his power unit up. That's okay to see, because he's going to be pretty vulnerable as we boost this. Watch this. Let's get back past him. You've used all your power unit to come past us. And we'll try and get back past very quickly. And here comes Piastri. Look at that. Through the inside off. Oh, it does get it in the end and we get back past. So it's all about being clever with your power unit. It's going to rain, so we're going to have one more lap here. And we're going to push then Nico Hulkenberg on this in lap, and we're going to conserve for some wets. Piastri, not the greatest on power unit at the minute, but that's okay because we are up to P12. Everyone's starting to pit for some wets, and Piastri goes on to do another lap. Up in P12 though. And Hulkenberg's just getting some power unit back now. And this is the great strategy. This is what a lot of your races will be like. Or even just a low team score driver and car combined, rather than this setup. So this is what I'm using through the duels. This is what helps me. I'm not going with my best two drivers, just simply going with this strategy here. And Hulkenberg out in the lead, in the wet. Piastri coming in now. We've managed to get back up to around 50% power unit. We've got the rival just in front, just coming back out. And we're following out too. Piastri comes out P13. So we're going to leave on medium for now. Hulk's gone. He's absolutely gone at the front. And that's why that level 7 common is great to have, because if you can get out in front, you can start to conserve all that power unit back. As we look to get Piastri past Piastri, like so. Can we get a run on sights in this corner? Round the outside we try, and we get 2 cars as well. So it's really judging where your power unit is going to come in handy. And Ocon comes into the pits. And we are P8 by the look of it now with Piastri. So moving up well. Hulkenberg's gone. Merlion's an absolute beast. And we are now behind the Ferrari. And we're going to boost a little bit and close that gap. Got quite a few cars here. Some on dry tyres. So can we make a move? We can. We can get 2 again up into that corner. We've got Fernando Alonso here in front. And he's very slow, Fernando Alonso. And that's because he's on dry tyres. So let's get past him and cut back down. Hulkenberg though, we've used all our power unit out front. And we're going to come home with 1 lap to go. Just cruising. Look how far we're ahead. Piastri though, can he get P5? We're going to wait to the hairpin. And then we're going to boost. We're just using the little bits of power that we've got left. And there we go, up to P4. And we've got just a couple of wet tyres ahead. Here's one of them, Lando Norris. We're going to conserve again by the medium. I'm just going to gain a little bit back. And look at the carnage out here. But Nico Hulkenberg is going to win. And this strategy has worked beautifully. We're going to boost Piastri into P3. P2 is completely gone. And that's okay, because we're going to do P1 and P3 in this race with a level 1 driver and a level 7. So I do want to point out, you can use this strategy with an epic as well. You'll get the same sort of matchups. You won't get anyone who's going to just fly away from you, and you can get some even matchmaking with this lower team score. But buying something like a Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, you can use them as well, and they will give you similar stats. You'll probably end up finding you'll start P1 and your river driver will start P24, and then use a boost on your P24 driver to come all the way through. So we'll wait, and what we'll do is we'll give a brief check of the car and driver comparison to show you what we've overcome there, because the rival has now finished eventually. Well, I think they've got one more lap left, so we'll just wait for them to finish. So here is the debrief. You can see we're behind on the team score, and if we look at the drivers, you can see our level 7 driver was pretty much in line with their drivers, even though they probably had better ones compared to our Nico Hulkenberg in terms of science. But when we look at the car, and this is why we're a lot quicker in the race, we're using a lot better car than the opponent. So even though they've got better drivers, which ups their team score, their car is not as good as yours. So that is the best strategies that I use in F1 Clash to go through the series. They really do work at the moment, and if you want to make it even more fun and even more powerful to do, what you can do is having a look at some stock parts. So have a look to see which is your less impacted part all the way down. So you could see all these got big minuses, but I'd say probably maybe even the engine is the lowest, and what you could do is assign that. The team score goes down by 530 or to 530, and then you can race with that as well. So there's plenty of ways of basically manipulating the racing that we do. So hopefully that's been a good one. That is exactly how I race through my series, and currently I am in Series 6, approaching Series 7. I hope that's helped you, and if not, I wish you the best of luck in F1 Clash this season. But that is exactly how I'm racing at the moment.